In the ever-evolving realm of PC gaming, motherboards are the battleground. This year, 2024, brings a fresh wave of contenders vying for the throne. But which one reigns supreme for you? Fear not, warriors, for I, your guide, will unveil the 5 best gaming motherboards this year has to offer. Links and prices will be included in the description below. So grab your metaphorical sword and metaphorical soldering iron, because it's time to delve into the heart of your future battle station. 5. Asus TUEF Gaming B650 Plus Wi-Fi. The primary M2 slot supports up to PCIe 5.0, while the other two support PCIe 4.0. The primary slot's cooling is relatively small compared to some of the chunky M2 heatsinks I've seen, including those shipping with the ASRock X670E Pro RS and Gigabit C790 Aorus Master. The board supports a single 5 Jeeps Type-C front connector and up to 2 Type-A and 4 USB 2.0 ports. Not bad, but a 10 Jeeps Type-C port would have been nice. The VRM is decent, if not spectacular, but it's all relative. Expecting a gazillion 105 stages is something that's restricted to boards at well over double the price. The 12 plus 2-phase design with 60 stages was enough to power my Ryzen 9 7950X without issue. The board includes 4 plus 8-pin CPU power connectors. Asus has done a wonderful job with the TUEF B650 Plus cooling design. The big and chunky heatsinks provide lots of surface area while allowing lots of air to circulate freely. Some mid-tier boards can skimp a little on VRM cooling. Here, Asus did not. 4. Gigabit X670 Aorus Elite X. If you're in the market for a good quality X670E motherboard, the chances are that you've recoiled at the prices of many of them. High-end motherboards are more likely to be X670E models. But the Gigabit X670 Aorus Elite AX comes in with just enough great features at such a reasonable price point that I've been tempted away from the E model boards. Part of the reason X670E boards cost a lot is because of the high-quality signaling required for both PCIe 5.0 expansion and M2 slots. But since PCIe 5.0 X16 for graphics cards means nothing right now, an X670 board is a perfectly viable option. And at $289/349 $599, the Gigabit X670 Aorus Elite X is a heck of a lot better value than X670E boards. But does the Elite AX have to sacrifice a little or a lot to come in at that price? No, it does not. Here you get effective heatsinks, particularly the VRM1, though sadly Gigabit opted not to include its excellent finned heatsink design on this model. In total, there are 4 M2 slots made up of the aforementioned primary PCIe 5.0 X41, plus a further 3 PCIe 4.0 X4 slots that are cooled by a single large heatsink. There are 4 SATA ports to round out the storage complement. 3. ASRock B760 MPG Sonic Wi-Fi. When evaluating a budget motherboard, aesthetics are usually not at the top of the criteria list. The ASRock B760M Sonic Wi-Fi is different. It's definitely a looker. It's still a motherboard, but it's a Sonic the Hedgehog motherboard. Not that that means much if the rest of the board is not up to the job. Looks aside, this little ASRock is an excellent option with a quality feature set that's perfect for an affordable Intel gaming system. The Sonic branding is everywhere. There's a large blue Sonic stencil on the rear of the board, and even the BIOS has a Sonic blue theme. The heatsinks have a brushed metal look, and you get a line of RGBs underneath the bottom M2 heatsink. The B760M Sonic has a good list of features for a micro ATX board. It's got a PCIe 5.0 X16 slot and a PCIe 4.0 X1 slot. There are 3 PCIe 4.0 M2 slots, all of which are cooled by simple heatsinks. They're joined by 4 SATA ports. The 4 memory slots support 192 GB of memory, though with the latest BIOS, you even have the option of running 256 GB. Not that many will require that much. The VRM is a decent 12+1+1 phase design with dual 8-pin power connectors. It happily ran an i9 13900K in our review, and it will accept 14th gen processors with the newer BIOSes. If it can run an i9, it will have exactly 0 issues handling any LGA 1700 processor, with an i5 or i7 chip being a more typical pairing with this class of motherboard. 2. Gigabeat Z690 Aorus Pro. It was almost inevitable that the top-end chipset for Intel's next-gen Alder Lake CPUs would end up being super expensive. That is compounded by the premium attached to anything which mentions DDR5. Even so, the Gigabeat Z690 Aorus Pro almost bucks that trend by offering a rounded feature set along with DDR5 support for around $330/AU $499. Sure, in the last CPU generation $300 plus was seen as high-end, but for the 12th gen platform that's positively mid-range. There are cheaper DDR4 boards around. Gigabeat also makes an Aorus Pro in DDR4 flavor too, though that's not sold in the US or EU. But if you want to get the absolute most out of the new Intel platform, you want DDR5. Gigabeat has been smart about the way it specs out the Aorus Pro, by limiting it to just Wi-Fi 6 wireless, as opposed to Wi-Fi 6E and 2.5G Intel wired networking connections, and eschewing such unnecessary luxuries as Thunderbolt 4 or another M2 slot. It has managed to keep the price at least relatively sensible. And it's a great performer, too, delivering system and gaming performance easily on par with the far more expensive boards we've also tested. The BIOS is maturing regularly as well, which makes us completely confident in recommending the Gigabeat board as our pick of the Z690 bunch. 1. NSI MAG Z790 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. NSI's Tomahawk motherboards usually rate highly. They tend to focus on a core feature set rather than the premium tier features common to much more expensive boards. If the bells and whistles don't matter to you, but you still want something capable of driving a demanding Core i9 13900K CPU, then Tomahawk models will probably be on your radar. The MSI MAG Z790 Tomahawk Wi-Fi, as the name suggests, is a part of NSI's MAG range, its second-tier sub-brand. It sits above the Pro range and below the MPG and high-end MEG range. At $319/337/AU $569, it's not cheap, though compared to what some premium tier boards are selling for. It's not badly priced at all. There's tough competition from the other vendors in its price range though. Here for review I have the DDR5 version. There's also a DDR4 version should you have a good set of DDR4 memory on hand. Though if you need to buy memory too, the DDR5 version is definitely the way to go. DDR4 is very much at the end of its life, and the 13th gen platform is almost certainly its last hurrah. So what will it be today, warriors? A high-octane PC adventure or a retro rumble with friends? The choice is yours. Leave a comment below letting me know, Team PC or Team Retro. Let's discuss the future of gaming. Is there still a place for classic consoles in today's world?